deck list is being stolen from me. So we're going to put all these deck lists up on the website, topdeckproductions.com. They're going to be available for you as soon as the tournament's over. My co-host, Handsome John Douglas here, is diligently typing them in. And he's going to send them off to our content manager right away.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
With the quickness. I wonder if they're discussing prize splits, etc., etc. Just as a side note, little education for any future tournament grinders out there. If you get to this point in the tournament, just usually when a judge stands there, you can pretty much say whatever. Like normally I'll tell the judge, like, hey, can I speak freely, and then you can stop me when I'm not allowed to offer something. And they'll usually help you out because there's always there's a line that you're not allowed to cross.
There's definitely a line.
And so just having a judge there when you're discussing anything with your opponent will prevent you from being disqualified from a tournament that you otherwise may have been able to win. I don't want that to happen to anybody. It's always feels bad when it happens, but the rules are the rules, and they have to keep them that way so that we can have
nice things,
good, fair matches, and tournaments that are...
Alright, so we're quickly underway here.
Tournaments that are won by playing Magic the Gathering.
And not foot races.
Not foot races or paper, rock, scissors, or... who's...
The old triple botanical sanctum open.
Just a very botanical time over there. Well, we're on tap now. So Tople's thinking about sitting back on the Supreme Will into whatever Robert Hayes' 4-drop is.
That would be the wrong call, I believe, but we'll see if it pays off for him.
Considering the 4-drops in Robert's deck, I'm into it.
Okay.
Also because Tople just has multiple Rogue Refiners. He doesn't have like any removal spells or anything crazy like that in his hand.
Okay.
If I had a removal spell, a Harness Lightning and a Braid, something like that, I would have cast a Rogue Refiner instead. He's hunting a land. None of these cards are land. 2 Whirler Virtuoso, 2 Rogue Refiner. And he looked at 4 spells with this Supreme Will.
Very nice.
Looks like he's going to take this Confiscation Coup.
It seems pretty good given the matchup.
Yep.
He needs to draw a red land. There it is. Not going to be one that comes to play untapped, though, so I'd probably just run out the Rogue Refiner first.
Yeah, see what's up?
It definitely comes to play tapped here.
Yeah, definitely. None of those are forests.
Which is why I would have played this first, but that's neither here nor there.
The Shelter Ticket has been very good for Robert. We've seen him cycle it in 2 matches now. It's a one-of.
Here's the bringer. The glory has been brought. Now John needs a land. He's got 2 turns to get it. And then we can Confiscation Coup this glory bringer. No land.
But we have a Whirler Virtuoso, so I imagine that's going to come down as it can generate a blocker, and it itself blocks any Servant of the Conduit attacks that might happen. Nope, we're going to get Bristly.
I like getting Bristly. You can take this glory bringer, but you're also going to have to kill your opponent eventually. And this Bristling Hydra is going to do a good job of presenting a threat that's difficult for Robert to deal with.
Long toss cut for Robert, and passes the turn. Tople gets... is this an Aether Hub? Tis an Aether Hub.
It's going to be good enough.
And here's the Confiscation Coup probably coming from... Yeah, I just can't imagine making any other play here.
Yeah.
None of the cards in his hand are as powerful as Get Your Glorybringer. Interesting.
I like the attack there. Oh, Whirler Virtuoso is the play.
Okay, we're gonna see what's up, I guess. I guess he's gonna do a little bit of work.
I actually like swinging in with the Bristling Hydra
Before
and trading off. Yeah, and just trading off the 2-for-1 and then stealing the Glorybringer. For Robert's 1 card in hand, and then Jonathan has multiple Whirler Virtuosos.
Yeah. So here's what Jonathan doesn't want to do. He does not want to spend an energy or 3 energy to force Robert to spend.
Yeah, you just let that go.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Robert has quite a grip. I thought he just had the 1 card sitting over there.
Spotter Monkey keeping you in your place there. Keeping you in check.
Oh, Spotter Monkey did?
Yeah, he put it up in his little notification box there.
Oh.
Alright. The Attunement Aether gets Basic Island, which is surprising out of this 4-color energy deck.
Well, he didn't have a blue source before. I mean, he has Aether Hub, but...
Tople's going to make 3 Thopters. And see if he gets a juicier target. Alright, so Topple's going to take 4 down to 10. Let's see if he finds a better target here for Confiscation Coup. I think he's got to do something here, right? He passes the turn? Yeah, see, I just don't think John's taking an aggressive enough line here. I mean, Robert passed to you with 5 lands up.
Yeah.
And you could have Confiscation Coup'd the dragon on your turn.
Yeah, I don't know what he's waiting for there.
And now, yeah, it's just, so Chandra resolves here. He's going to go to 5. And here's the horrendous Long Tusk Cub. I guess Robert's just going to have it deal 2 to Topple.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he is. Our monkey's going a little crazy here. Oh my god. Mike.
Holy smokes, my bad.
All good.
You scared me.
So
here's
Tople here has Supreme Will, which will counterspell unless you pay 3, so he couldn't counter the Chandra there.
Correct. It was not good enough.
Not good enough.
But he's looking at 3 cards or 4 cards off the top of his library now that hopefully
I don't know what he's waiting for.
He will consider one of them to be as good as this Supreme Confiscation Coup. I don't know why he hasn't gotten a hold of this Glorybringer yet.
I mean, he might just be playing around the counterspell, but that's just silly. Just run it out there, man. You're just going to die waiting on that counter magic.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he thinks his 3 Thopters are going to win this race, but I've done the math. They aren't.
They are not. 4 is greater than 3.
Correct. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if he's going to pull the trigger, if he's ready for it.
Let's see a coup.
He's got 6 mana now. Still not ready. He's
Still not ready.
Play a Whirler Virtuoso, it looks like. Alright, Virtuoso trigger is on the stack. Looks like it's resolving. And I'm guessing these Thopters are going to go at Chandra?
They pretty much have to at this point.
Right, we can't let that Chandra get out of hand, because if you get ultimate on that thing, whoo-wee. That's a short turn.
Right.
Your opponent just casts as many spells as they can that turn. Here's a Rogue Refiner for 2 more energy and a card. And
the draw is an Aether Hub.
Yep, 3 Thopters to Chandra.
Here we go.
Chandra down to 2. And Robert untapping. Now, I don't know how Robert feels about this, or if he feels he has to feel super ahead, because this Glorybringer has pretty much been unmitigated.
And he's got a huge life lead.
He's got a Planeswalker and a Glorybringer. He's drawn has drawn a gajillion lands.
1 gajillion.
He's drawn a card off the top of his deck. Here's the Scarab God. I believe that one's gonna make it into play, not deal 2 damage. So maybe this is what Tople was waiting for.
He's been waiting.
Maybe his patience is paid off. He's just gonna get a copy of the Scarab God.
So taking the Scarab God is a little bit rough. I don't think I would do that. I think I would take the Glorybringer still.
Okay.
Because if Robert kills the Scarab God and he just gets it back.
Yes, this is true. And the Chandra plus the Glorybringer could kill the Scarab God in one turn if he so desired.
Right. So I would make 2 Thopters here.
Block with one of them.
Yeah, you have to block with one of them at this point.
Alright, so here's 2 more Thopters. It looks like he's blocked with one of them. Alright. So now 3 Thopters are going to come at Chandra. And you're going to Confiscation Coup the Scarab God? Because then Robert does have to put in a bunch of work.
I think he's got a Harness Lighting in hand. That's all he has to do.
Yep. Tople's going to make the obvious play.
I would have probably attacked the Chandra first. So if he has a removal spell, he might try to save the Chandra.
Sure. Yeah, so you need all the Thopters to attack Chandra, because then he has to spend 2 removal spells to save it. Whereas he could have spent 1 removal spell there and saved the Chandra if he had a bonus removal spell.
Alright, and here's the Harness Lightning on the Scarab God.
3 plus 2 of the energy in the pool. Scarab God goes in the graveyard. And on the end step, it's going to come back to his hand. So it's important, if you want to make that trick, you got to do it on the main phase, because the beginning of the end step only happens once.
Only happens once.
Make sure you're clear about that when you do that move. So Tople's got a much wider board, but Robert has the more power. He's got a Scarab God, he's got Glorybringer, and he's only 1 mana short of casting the Scarab God and activating it in the same turn. Which could be a big deal, because Tople has...
Which just happens to be exactly enough mana to activate it twice when he untaps with it.
Right. It could be a big deal because Tople has Whirler Virtuoso in his graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
And making a 4/4 Whirler Virtuoso, and then also getting to make a Thopter with it to block some of these oncoming Thopters could save Robert the game. Let's see what happens.
Here's the Scarab God. And pass his turn.
Alright, no additional land. That just means it's more gas.
Tople draws a land for turn. Has, I believe, 2 lands and a Whirler Virtuoso in hand.
Yeah, these Thopters are gonna do some work, I guess.
Yes, they are.
So you can't leave them all back, because the Glorybringer kills one and then you can't effectively block the Glorybringer. So you have to race
You just play out a Whirler Virtuoso and send all of them.
Right. I mean, you want Robert to keep exerting this Glorybringer because it slows down the clock that's going to kill you.
Right. But if you just play out the Whirler Virtuoso, like you can play, or you can activate his ability post-combat, or post-attackers.
Sure. Yeah, he'll declare attackers, target your Whirler Virtuoso, and you'll make 2 Thopters in response now. Untap. Let's see if he's gonna... No Scarab God on the upkeep. So we could have Scarab Godded twice there on the upkeep, made Tople lose 2 life, and he would have gotten a big scry out of it.
Yeah, so it doesn't affect the clock at all.
Right,
so
none of the creatures have haste.
A lot of people do that on the upkeep, and I don't agree with it. There's a time and a place, but...
Well, would it not have affected the clock? Because he can... So if he does it twice on the upkeep... this attack for 4 in the air that you're hoping get... Well, I guess you know it's not getting through.
Right.
Would have... It would have been 2 on the upkeep, 4 in the air, and then 2 more on the next upkeep. Is 8 exactly?
Right, but you know it's not getting through.
Right. Concur. Alright, here's 2 Thopters, and he blocks with one of them. Probably just going to Scarab God at the end step here.
Yeah, that is the most likely of scenarios. Gives you mana to react.
Or Tople's combat. He could get 2 Whirler Virtuosos. Which account for 2 Thopters.
Yeah.
Lots of blockers. Scarab God's a tough card to deal with.
It's not easy. What was Jon's draw there?
Can't see it. It's a green card. I see a mountain and a green card.
I think it might just be a forest.
Yep. With any luck.
With any luck. You playing favorites here, buddy?
I got a love for this Scarab God. It's pretty good.
Oh, sure.
Alright. Tople's going to come in with exactly 3 Thopters. Yep. He's going to get a Whirler Virtuoso. Go up to 5 energy. And then make a Thopter down to 2 energy. One gets blocked, he takes 2. Yep, Tople's going to go to 7. He's going to get the Scry 1. Leaves it on top. Draws for turn. What did he leave on top? Let's see. Here's 5 mana. That's a Glorybringer. Yep. And Jon's going to scoop him up to that.
Yeah, that'll do it. So you have in front of you one deck list, courtesy of Jonathan Tople. What kind of sideboard action can we hope from Tople here?
His available cards are 2 Chandra's Defeat, 1 Nissa, 3 Chandra Torch of Defiance, 1 River's Rebuke, 2 Magma Spray, 3 Vizier Many Faces, and 3 Negate. I think the cards he's going to want are Vizier Many Faces, River's Rebuke, and Chandra's Defeat. So that's 4, 5, 6 cards in. The cards he's going to take out are these Long Tusk Cubs.
Long Tusk Cub is good on the draw.
He's on the play.
Or good on the play, rather.
Okay, so he's going to leave those in. Let's see, what would he cut then? He'll probably cut the... 2 Abrade is less impressive in this matchup.
Correct.
And these 2 Supreme Wills seem pretty loose as well. I would also shave a Rogue Refiner and a Servant of the Conduit if I were him. Rogue Refiner, I mean, while very good, is outclassed by this 4-color energy deck pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't trade very effectively with like a Glorybringer or a Scarab God. What do you think? How would you assess that?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
We've seen Robert on camera before, so we know what options he has available to him. As far as the sideboard goes, though, confiscation coups seem great. It's pretty much the same thing. We've got a couple confiscation coups, Vizier of Many Faces. You want to bring Nissa in on the play, and then the Chandra's defeats are probably pretty nice as well. So, not Nissa this game, although maybe it comes in. I don't know what his outs look like. Let's see. Magma Spray doesn't seem great, but if you're on the draw, I could see it as a hedge against the Long Tusk Cub draws. The Abrade doesn't seem great. Basically, your removal gets much worse.
Right. Yeah,
on the draw, these Chandras can come out too.
Yeah, Chandra's defeat needs to be renamed Glorybringer's defeat.
It really does.
Because
it's not killing a lot of Chandras, but my goodness.
Literally, the card exists in sideboards to kill that card specifically.
Yeah.
And
you're not wrong.
I mean, I bring it in against this Temur energy deck, and it only can target World of Virtuosos and Glorybringers.
I've killed a Virtuoso with it before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine use if if they play it onto 0 energy or 2 energy or whatever.
So a lot of people feel bad targeting Whirler Virtuoso with removal, but it really helps to force their hand to bring out the Thopters early.
Right.
So that you could, like, exert a Glorybringer and kill a Thopter and get in the 4 damage or whatever you need to do at the time.
Right. No, I think Whirler Virtuoso, because it makes subsequent energy draws better if it's just sitting on the board.
Oh, I agree.
Whereas, like, if you've killed their Whirler Virtuoso and then they attune with Aether and they go up to 4 energy, they're like, oh, well, I've got this 4 energy. And, might use it on a Harness Lightning or a Confiscation Coup later, but no big deal. Shuffling up, so Robert's going to be on the draw here, ahead by a game. Let's see if we can keep some 6s. See a good game of Magic. I wish Magic were like chess, where you could. I mean, when you watch a chess match, especially online, you can roll it back several moves.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to roll that game back and see what happens if Tople Confiscation coups the Glorybringer.
Right.
He may have been right. Like, it may have just been the right line 90% of the time. But like,
he slow rolled that game way too much. I think you could go back in that game. And the point at which Tople kind of lost control of that game was turn 3.
Holy smokes.
But if you remember on turn 3, he had the 3 Botanical Sanctums. He had the Rogue Refiner in hand and chose to wait to potentially cancel or counterspell a 4-drop from Robert with his Supreme Will.
Yeah, and you think he just Rogue Refiners there?
Yeah, I think you just Rogue Refiner. You got to get something on the board. You got to be aggressive. At the time, Robert hadn't cast a spell other than Servant of the Conduit.
The part that made him look like a genius is that he was stuck on 3 lands, Supreme Willed, and saw 4 cards. So if he had run off the Rogue Refiners, he would have been 2 complete turn cycles of not hitting a land drop, even if he played a Rogue Refiner in both those turn cycles.
Right. I mean, it's not irrelevant for how the game turned out. It's irrelevant for your decision point at that moment.
Concur. I'm just saying it made him look like a genius when that happened.
Right. So if you miss your 4th land drop, then you sit back and you Supreme Will. Or you just Supreme Will on main phase.
Yeah, to try and find it. Alright, here's an Attune getting a island. I don't know who John borrowed this deck from, but the person's choice in basics is very exotic. I like it.
Very exotic.
These are promos from Japan, so
very nice.
Really nice cards. Alright, here he is on turn 3. What do we got? Here's one reason why Aether Hub is so good. It makes these 2 energy cards into 3 energy cards like really well. So now he has 3 energy. He's going to get to play a rogue. I would have run out of Whirler Virtuoso here, but he's going to play a Rogue Refiner, draw a card.
Yeah, that seems fine. So if you have 3 mana and you have your 3 drops, but you don't have a 4th land, then I could see casting out a Rogue Refiner. That's fine. So we're going to have dueling Rogue Refiners here.
It's a very refined game we're playing. Alright, so now he's got 2 land drops in a row, so we can get aggressive. He's got this River's Rebuke too, so
I'd imagine like stalling the board, it does a lot for him. So I would play out this Whirler Virtuoso. But given our track record in predicting John's movements here, I would say that he's going to do the exact opposite. And
yep. Would you attack in, see if we can earn the trade?
No, I don't want to earn the trade here.
We just want to build up the board since we have River's Rebuke on 6.
Sure.
Well, we've earned the trade. Passing the turn.
Yeah,
so he's got Negate in hand.
He's trying to be way too controlling here. You're on the play. You've got the River's Rebuke in hand. Like, it benefits you significantly. And, like, he's only running 10 non-creature spells, maybe 12. Come on, man. You can't just pass turns like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in the back. He's out here in the finals of this PPTQ. I've never touched this deck before, so
I've played it a few times.
I'll defer to him, but
not enough to consider myself an expert, but I think he just has a very different play style than myself, so.
Let's see. He's thinking hard about this, and here's the Whirler Virtuoso, leaving up a Botanical Sanctum, and getting to 8 energy.
Yeah, this is just... So if this comes down a turn earlier, you're in such better position.
Yeah, I mean, yep,
here's a Whirler Virtuoso.
Robert's Own. An attack.
Yeah, you just kind of have to take this.
Yeah, Robert's Whirler Virtuoso is really strong there, because if Tople would have, if he would have attacked beforehand and Tople tries to, like, double block and make him spend some energy, I guess, he spends it. But with the Whirler Virtuoso coming down on Robert's side, he knows he's just flush on energy.
Yeah.
And he's not going to block at all.
So we untap, draw. We really want to force Robert to spend this energy before we cast the River's Rebuke.
Yes.
Like, that's going to be very important. So
here's the Abrade on the Whirler Virtuoso. Now Robert's gonna pull the trigger on some of these.
Just one.
Just one.
That's okay.
Attacks for 2. And I'm wondering if Tople has watched Robert's games throughout the day, and he knows there's many Planeswalkers in this deck, and he's just afraid of one of those. Here's another Whirler Virtuoso. And Robert's just going to have so much energy. right. Let's see what we can come up with here. I'd love it if he had a Rogue Refiner would be a great play. Looks like Vizier of Many Faces was the draw.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, here's a Rogue Refiner. Alright.
We're still in this.
Still in the game. So now Rogue Refiner is a great play because he can block the Hydra, forcing use of the energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that makes a big deal. Because if you Rivers Rebuke Robert with this 10 energy still on the board, I agree that it's really bad. It's almost like a good thing for Robert because he gets to re-trigger and get to 20 energy or whatever it is. However many it counts at that point.
Infinite energy.
Infinite energy and infinite combinations. Here's a Tune with Aether. And gets a basic forest.
Seems reasonable.
Very reasonable. He's at 6 mana, so he could cast any number of spells here. Can't really see what's in his hand, but the things he's... Uh-oh. What's coming down now? Here's a Rogue Refiner of his own. Goes to 14 energy, draws a card. So River's Rebuke is at its best when you get to attack for the win.
Yeah.
Tople does not block. See, I would have blocked there. I don't know if Jon's trying to build the board that can win him the game once his River's Rebuke goes off.
With Robert at 18, he's so far away from that.
Well, he's got this Vizier of Many Faces that he can make into a Hydra and still have negate back up.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, I know he's been valuing that negate back up pretty highly throughout the day. Or at least the match we're watching right now.
Right, I think that's very wrong, but it gets less wrong as time goes on.
Let's see. Let's see what he picks. Chooses Rogue Refiner to go to 7 energy and draw a card. So the Vizier is a Rogue Refiner. Draws a Hydra of his own. Can't really cast it. He has...
And a Tune with Aether. Has he played a land yet for turn?
Negative. So I think he's probably going to attune. Nope. Because if he attunes, he goes shields down on the negate for a minute.
For just a split second.
Just while the attune is on the stack.
He might have already cast a spell for turn.
Played his land.
Or played a land for turn, yeah, sorry.
Alright. So he's just noting what that Vizier is for now. So Robert's cashed in some of his multitudes of energy to make 2 more Thopters. Spread his board even wider, and Tople can match him Thopter for Thopter. But here is River's Rebuke from Robert. This is a big deal. I don't think Tople's going to... Oh, he's got the negate.
Oh, he's got the negate.
So
he looks like a genius.
The negate paid, and he gaffed his River's Rebuke of his own onto the board.
So now you've got to cast it.
Yeah, so now he's got to cast it. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Robert has 10 mana worth of creatures on the board and 7 mana in play. So he can recast Whirler Virtuoso and Bristling Hydra after this River's Rebuke. It doesn't last that long, this advantage.
You only need a
3
turn
flying.
in a lot of cases.
Concur. Oh, he has 8.
So if I'm Jon, I'm just taking the 3 here.
Yeah. You don't want to cash in your energy to try and fight Thopter Wars on Thopters you're going to destroy next turn, right?
I would think not.
He's going to choose to just make 1. At 4 energy. And let's see what happens here. So we draw
Harness
Harness
lightning.
lightning.
Probably attune with Aether first.
Yep. You're gonna tune them up. So John's actually in an interesting position here. So he's got the energy to make an additional 2 Thopters. So Robert's going to have to commit his Whirler Virtuoso to the board and use many of that energy to battle these Thopters if he wants to, because John's going to rebuke here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Attack for 10 and put Robert to 8.
Yeah.
And so he can't just let these 4 Thopters go unmitigated because it's 2 turns. So Robert's first order of business is going to be getting his own Whirler Virtuoso down to fight the Thopter battles.
Oh, absolutely. So 10 puts Robert to 8. If he has another land, I don't think it really helps him much. Tune with Aether, okay.
Yep. Puts him to 10 energy, which accounts for 3 Thopters plus the 1 the Whirler Virtuoso makes. He'll be able to block all Thopters. But then who will be at 0 energy. So River's Rebuke good here, even though Robert has an abundance of energy. It's still going to put Tople ahead on board. Okay, so now we have 4 Thopters plus the 1. He'll actually be plus a Thopter after it's all said and done.
So if he commits a Whirler Virtuoso here,
He does.
then yeah, we're gonna be plus 1 Thopter.
Oh, see, I think Tople made a mistake there. I think you make Thopters at the end of turn. You just make him burn the energy off, unless he wants to go to 4.
Right.
And that way, if you draw Glorybringer, holy smokes, you get to get all his energy or all his Thopters.
So
Yeah,
here's
here's
an interesting question.
Yeah.
What if he has an Upheaval?
Oh, another River's Rebuke from Robert. Does he have it in his deck?
Robert does not.
Yeah, these decks only play
Tople
1.
does.
Does he? I see 1 on the sideboard.
Oh, sorry. Then Robert does.
Robert
One of these
has
decks
2?
had 1 too.
Okay.
Robert Hayes, deck list. Jay Crazy, thanks for the follow. Yes. No. Just 1.
You crazy for this one, Jay.
Yeah, they both only have 1, so no second River's Rebuke. Sorry.
All right. So let's see how many Thopters Robert's going to make. It looks like 4. See what he does with them. All right. Yep. So the refiners are going to trade off.
The Vizier is going to live, which is a copy of a refiner.
And the Thopters are going to trade off. So he has Harness Lightning.
Alright, time to make some Thopters here.
Yep, you make 3 more. And still at end of turn, I would Harness Lightning Robert's Whirler Virtuoso.
Mm-hmm.
Would be my play.
Still in a turn? Sorry, I'm having a little bit of an epileptic fit here.
Okay, so he chooses to make 2, and this leaves his Bristling Hydra safe from Glorybringer triggers.
That's, it also lets you harness lightning, Glorybringer.
Yeah.
Or in this case, the Scarab God. But man,
Yep.
the Scarab God is
So
Good.
in the end step, he's going to Harness Lightning the Scarab God. Okay, he's going to start with the Whirler Virtuoso and then in his own end step do the Scarab God. Oh, because he can... Wow, he has a Vizier in hand, too, so he can... Oh, is that a... Oh, no, it's a Thicket. I thought... So he has a Vizier in hand, so he can make his own Scarab God and still Harness Lightning Robert's Scarab God. I wonder if he can make his own... If he does it in the end step, it'll still be there when he untaps? No, because Robert's end step will happen first.
So...
But he can let Robert untap with it. Interesting. This is an interesting board.
Yeah, so I don't know that this is... What's going to happen here is Robert's going to bring back a Whirler Virtuoso, make a couple Thopters, and we're going to get clogged up for a little bit. I don't know that Harness Lightning on the Scarab God is a great call right here because it uses so much of your energy.
Right.
Jonathan going to ask a judge question, which usually means he's going to Harness Lightning this during his end step. He's got a Vizier in hand, he's got a Thicket, and he's got this Harness Lightning.
Yes.
So it looks like we're going for the Vizier.
Yep, here's the Vizier.
Vizier is going to get a copy of the Scarab God.
I'm going to be a copy of the Scarab God.
Oh, doing this before his end step. That's
It's going to cost Robert an energy to get a Whirler Virtuoso.
Whirler Virtuoso. So you might want to do this to get damage through, but because you're able to get this Whirler Virtuoso, you're not going to be able to get damage through anyway. So here we are, not getting damage through, like a pro.
Like a professional. Interesting. I would send the Vizier that's a Rogue Refiner as well, as it's worn out its welcome. It's not gonna outclass anything.
Okay. Sending the Hydra, man, if he pumps this Hydra, I'm gonna be so sad. Alright, just
the Thopters.
Here we go.
He's gonna make another Thopter and double block. Earn block. Each one earns a block.
Alright, so we have a 4/4 Virtuoso, get the Scarab God back because you did it during the main phase, and let's see what we can draw. So, of note, he has mana to play Scarab God and activate it.
Yes.
And Jon has energy, or has mana to just activate Scarab God once, which is not good.
Correct.
Really needs to draw, comes into play untapped land here, so that he can activate his Scarab God twice.
I could see Jon waiting on that Harness Lightning until he can Harness Lightning the Scarab God and then get it with his Scarab God. And then you've got the Legend rule, and then, you just choose the token to die.
Yeah.
Or you could choose the Vizier to die so you can copy something else.
Right.
That would be a big trick, too. Lots of interesting things possible here.
Here comes the Scarab God again.
Yep.
And I assume we're getting in an activation before Jon's turn. Because if we wait until Jon's turn, he draws a land, you're in bad shape.
Concur.
Oh, he's picking up 5. Oh, there's 4 land.
4, it's going to cost him... Does it cost him an energy, or does one of those produce a black? There we go. Gets himself a 4/4 Rogue Refiner. Goes up to 5 energy. Draws himself a card. I was like, I'd spend 4 mana for that.
Yeah. Alright, so if I'm Jon, I probably want to do this during the upkeep, but he's not going to. So here we are. He's got a Sheltered Thicket they didn't play last turn. I guess he didn't think ahead. Viziers are not zombies. They are Scarab Gods and Rogue Refiners.
Yep. I guess we're just going to look at each other here until...
Well, no, you have to take it now. You have to take a creature now.
Yeah. He gets a Whirler Virtuoso, and he gets himself 3 energy with it.
And then probably play out his own Virtuoso.
Yeah, he should play all the cards in his hand.
Yeah, he definitely needs to play that land. Having 2 activations of the Scarab God is a much bigger deal than just having 1.
Absolutely. And it's going to keep him... I mean, he's ahead in the life race right now by just like a very small amount.
Let's call it like it is. They're even in the life race.
Well, okay, so they're even, but Robert has two zombies, whereas Jon has 1. So he needs to get on par with this.
Yeah, Robert could have 4 zombies during his upkeep if he wants. I don't know if there's that many creatures in the yard. Oh, we're turning a Hydra sideways.
All right. I like this.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah, so the Hydra can trade with anything on the board. And if Robert wants to trade off his Scarab God, it saves him a trigger. Saves Jon a trigger at the beginning of the next turn. So he won't lose 4 life.
I like it as well, but it's only going to eat a Thopter in all likelihood, which is 3 energy. But that's still decent.
Yeah, it's still not blocking. Because we have blockers. I also would have attacked with the Vizier of Many Faces.
The 3/2 one or the 5/5 one?
The 3/2.
Okay.
Because it's not doing anything. Oh, the Spotter Monkey's corrected me. So the Vizier, you don't want that to die because Robert can get it back with the Scarab God. So maybe once you're untapped and you can fight over it.
Yeah, I guess.
That's reasonable.
Oh, we're going to have a Harness Lightning.
-1 energy there.
Yeah, still losing energy for that one.
Yeah, because it's a 4/4. Alright.
I'm surprised you didn't go after the Scarab God.
Yeah, because if he kills the Scarab God, and then he can Scarab God back the Vizier as a whatever he wants. He's got plenty of juicy targets, though.
Yeah, I think his game plan here is just to kill him on Scarab God triggers at this point. Gum up the board as much as possible.
Yeah, you can gain 2 energy. Draw himself a card.
He's got a Glorybringer in hand.
What a life he leads. What a luxurious life.
Yeah, I would say Rob's got this one pretty well under control. He doesn't even need to attack.
A Harness Lightning on Tople's Scarab God. Burning off 2 more. And another Whirler Virtuoso, yeah. Rob's just got all the cards in his hand. And here comes a 4/4 Rogue Refiner at you. What do you got?
Show me what you got.
Show me what you're working with.
Not much, as it turns out. So it's awkward because you have to block.
I think he makes a Thopter and blocks it, probably.
Yeah. And you're just dead next turn still. This feels bad. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, so it looks like it turns out we saw what I predicted, where this deck with more colors has access to more crazy things, and therefore gets to win the energy mirror in big dramatic air quotes, because it's not a true mirror, it's just two decks that happen to use the energy resource squaring off.
You know what? You're right. You were right all along. Everybody else was wrong.
Nobody else was wrong. I was just repeating I was parroting that. That was not a unique or novel thought in any way, shape, or form. Somebody has said that before.
So I think what happened here is that Jon neglected to take that into heart, and instead tried to play a long game against a deck that's much better equipped to do that. We saw again the entirety of the early game was spent holding up counter magic and not playing aggressive threats when he could have been. Not that it would have made a difference in this outcome, because we just won't know that.
Right.
But this is how it turns out when you try to take this 4-color energy deck to the long game. They get all their colors, they get all their bombs.
All their big bad boys.
As a Temur deck, you're not going to beat a Scarab God. It's just the way it works.
Concur. The Vizier of Many Faces, becoming a Scarab God. Looks like we're going to attack for some amount of flying damage.
And we probably just want to get this Rogue Refiner.
Trying to get the Rogue Refiner out of...
Oh no, a Virtuoso.
A Virtuoso out of Robert's board.
It gives you the same number of Thopters and one less card.
Well, from one Jon to another. You guys are in that special Jon club where you get to critique each other, I guess. Thopter's down.
I'm not going to not critique something. Come on now.
Alright.
I tell it like it is.
If I'm Robert here, I would have activated... While Jon's tapped out, I want to get all the creatures out of the board onto my end.
Yeah, I would have done 2 on the upkeep, and that would put him to 1. You have 4 creatures to his, I guess, 5. So you just sit back at that point. Oh, you've got a Glorybringer as well.
Sure. The power and the glory. Does he have another Harness Lightning as well?
He does have another Harness Lightning. He can do whatever he likes.
Yeah, so you Glorybringer. It doesn't matter. As long as you don't commit a infraction that causes you to receive a game loss penalty, you're going to win this game.
In all likelihood, what did we just spend 5 mana on? Glorybringer is what we spent 5 mana on.
The power and the glory.
4 mana.
Vizier targeting, yep.
Here we go.
Glorybringers exerting, targeting these Whirler Virtuosos.
And you just send them both. You have the Harness Lightning, so when he makes a Thopter to block, you just kill it.
Yep.
That should do it.
This is going to wrap it up.
He did see that line, though, and that's more power to him. So there you go. Robert Hayes takes it down 2-0, and he is
qualified
our
for
GameSwap Mason champion
for this
PPTQ
winner.
Standard.
Qualifies him for the RPTQ at the end of March, beginning of April. Also earns him a Noble Hierarch promo. This is the first round of PTQs with the Noble Hierarch promo.
Yeah, how do you feel about that one?
Looks amazing. Can't wait to collect mine.
Absolutely, I can't wait to collect mine either. What do you think about the tournament today?
I thought the tournament was a great one. It was fairly representative of a standard metagame.
We didn't really get into like the percentages of stuff, but there was about a little less than 40% energy decks. Pulverizer, thanks for the follow. We had about 12 to 15% red decks.
Yeah, there's 2 gift stacks.
Yeah, 2 gift decks apparently, and then a lot of...
Yeah, we had about 8 or so, like, roguey.
Yeah, so we had 2 gift decks, 2 approach decks, 2 blue-black control decks, like 3 or so tokens decks. And everything else was just kind of its own thing. It was pretty neat.
We had one Grixis vehicle deck. We didn't have any straight Mardu vehicles.
We had 1 Mardu vehicle deck.
We had a Mardu one. Yeah, didn't fare too well.
Didn't fare too well. So Robert's going to take this one down. You can join us next Tuesday. Is the next time we'll be streaming. It'll be you and I talking about some hot modern action. So
hot modern action.
Tuesday night at 6:30 Eastern. But we're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
David Kibler, 1024. I don't know what that reference is, but it was a great year in the Dark Ages.
That was the hour and minute that he was born.
Okay.
AM. 10:24 AM.
Oh, AM. Sure, not military time.
Well, it's the same.
Right.
So, there's that. I'd like to give a couple shout-outs here.
Oh, yeah? I've got 2.
Oh, go ahead.
Shout out Waffle House.
Yeah, shout out Waffle House. We had a nice breakfast.
Nice breakfast with Waffle House. Shout out Skyline. They had a pretty solid Skyline dinner.
A pretty average Skyline dinner.
That's all you get at Skyline. You're never like, oh, this Skyline is better than the other Skylines I've had.
That is so wrong, but we'll talk about that off the stream. I'd like to shout out our spotter monkey for not being completely worthless at times.
Yeah.
Only somewhat worthless most of the time. I'd like to shout out all of our participants today. We had a great turnout.
Yep.
Solid tournament. A lot of great decks. Some spicy brews, which you guys can check it out on the website later. I'd like to shout out Judge. Judge is sweet.
Yep.
Big fan of this Judge.
Yep.
Good old Judge.
Love the Judge. Shout out GameSwap Mason for having the bee's knees when it comes to prizes. I think they gave out all the entry fees. So
they had to give out more than the entry fees. I don't know how they got that much money to give out in prizes, but they did.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of money. I was just telling Taylor, like, before the top 8, I am definitely just sandbagging until the GameSwap Mason PPTQ happens because,
yeah, right. The prizes are insane.
Absolutely insane. So, next PPTQ season, take a look at the schedule. Going down to GameSwap Mason, I'm telling you, man, these prizes. You
can find all the local PPTQs in the Cincinnati area at CINCYPPTQ.com. CincyPPTQ.com.
Shoutouts to Min for putting that together.
Shoutouts to Judge Mint. We have great judges in this area.
We have the best judges.
Yeah, love them. Shout out to Overhead Camera.
Yeah, Overhead Camera. Shoutouts to Overhead Camera. You got anything else?
I love you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you Tuesday at 6:30.